Okay. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thanks for organizers and thanks for everyone for coming. And I would like to share some of my thoughts. And so far we have talked about what is going on. And now I'm going to talk about why. Why that never happen again, we used to say in a history book is happening now. What is the reason behind it? So if you can open my slide, please. Start with number 2. Imam Bukhari was Uyghur. And if you don't know Imam Bukhari, check about your memory again. So this is what's going on. Just second slide, please. Third, these are the satellite images. Just I would like to refresh your memory. Go on with the slides. Third, can we do it? Or go directly 8. Okay. So, China calls education center, training center, vocational training center, with the barbed wires, stop there. And to put people without any reason, without any charge, without any terms of release. And so far, 37 of my family members, since 2.5 years, I don't know whether my mother is dead or alive. I don't have any communication. I cannot make a phone call. I cannot send a text. I cannot do anything. All of the Uyghurs are the same. I have one friend in Montreal, Erkinaji. He has 76 of his extended and direct family members disappeared. If you talk every Uyghur here, or Germany or US, everyone, their family members are affected, no one left untouched. And so, just stopping this. This is what China calls Belt and Road Initiative. And maybe I need to go up there. Can I do that? Okay. This is Kyabku port in Myanmar. We know the Rohingya genocide. Chinese government wants to connect from there's one province called Yunnan to Kyabku port in Myanmar, one land corridor. The thing is, there are Rohingya people live there. Initially, Chinese government seemed to be not involved, but they encouraged local Buddhist mobs just to evacuate the Rohingyas. If they do not listen, just beaten up, and the Chinese government supported all the way of Rohingya genocide. Now, if you look at the United Nations and other international arena, China is standing side by side with Myanmar. So no one could do anything to Myanmar, Aung San Suu Kyi. So after this, look at this. This is Gwadar Port, Pakistan. It was abandoned. Fishery port. China purchased this port and it invested $62 billion. And look at this is East Turkestan. So Chinese Belt and Road Initiative, all 4 corridors connecting China to Moscow. This is Turkey, Ankara, Gwadar Port, the Middle East. This is Sea Maritime. This is land road. And the land road and the sea connects, merges at 2 places. One is Gwadar, one is Kyabku port in Myanmar. Because of this Kyabku port in Myanmar, Rohingya people suffered. Genocide took place. And because Gwadar port connects all the way China through East Turkestan, today Uyghurs are suffering. And so, if you look at this map, you understand why Muslim world is silent. And a little earlier, Dr. Ali Khan praised Turkey to condemn or criticize China at United Nations in the beginning of March. Yes, that was right. Turkish Minister of Foreign Affairs criticized Chinese government's treatment of Uyghurs. But when it comes to Jeddah, Islamic Cooperation Organization's meeting, Turkey supported the resolution. Otherwise, Islamic Cooperation Organization because their mechanism is different. In order to have a resolution, you have to have a unanimous vote. All members should agree. Otherwise, Islamic Cooperation Organization cannot produce any resolution. So how come Malaysia and Turkey, those two countries openly criticize China at United Nations and some other occasions? When it comes to Islamic Cooperation Organization, they stood with China. Double-faced game. So, look at this map. This is called Chinese Belt and the Road. This is actually extension of Chinese hegemony, colonization, by providing money for weaker, smaller country, which is called debt trap. Debt trap. China gives the money, loan for those countries by knowing them that they are unable to pay. And then, after a couple of years, when certain projects or terms arrive, China asks payback money. And those countries, no, I cannot. So China says, okay, if you don't have money, give me something in return, territory. This is what happened to Sri Lanka, here, Hambantota port. China said to Sri Lanka, we will build very nice airport here, will surpass Dubai. This will be a huge international hub. So China invested a couple of $1 billion. When the airport completed, no plane landed. So that was planned by China. So Sri Lankan government could not see any prospect of generating income. And then, okay, when we signed this agreement, they are supposed to be the biggest airport and the busiest air transport hub. It didn't happen, so we could not pay your money. So China said, okay, I give you a territory. So this is Hambantota port, Sri Lanka. 99 years, China took over. And the Pakistani Gwadar port, 49 years, China took over. Now China put $62 billion in Pakistan, and Pakistan knows that they are unable to pay. And so China already transferred 25,000 soldiers in Pakistan right now with construction workers' head over their head. China's already Pakistan is already under Chinese control. And similarly, 51% of state-owned enterprises or oil or a big industry in Kazakhstan owned by China. It went so far, China appointed one ethnic Chinese from mainland China as a Ministry of Natural Resources in Kazakhstan. Just imagine. China appointed one ethnic Chinese from mainland China to be a Minister of Natural Resources in Kazakhstan. And this is Kyrgyzstan. So, when you look at that map, you will see why China, those Islamic or Turkic nations are silent. Basically, China says, I'm extending you a bread. You have to eat, if you want to eat this bread, you have to use Uyghur blood as dipping sauce. That is the only condition to eat my bread. I give you a money or a project, whatever it is, you have to be silent for whatever I do for Uyghurs. So if you look at this map, East Turkestan, without East Turkestan, China doesn't have access to Central Asia, Pakistan, everywhere. So only Chinese access to Middle East, Central Asia, Eurasia is by the sea. So can we get next slide, please? Okay, this is from satellite. This is from East Turkestan. This is how China connects to Central Asia. Go next. Next slide. Next. Okay, stop here. So, unless China goes through land expansion, this is Malacca Strait. Chinese 90% of export-import to Muslim world, Africa, Europe, go through Malacca Street. Unfortunately, or reality, the control of Malacca Street is from the United States, is managed by United States. So China says, okay, if something happens, if United States blocks my way at the Malacca Street, I have difficulties. And China tried to expand its territory by artificial island, and now number of US aircraft carrier in the region, there is high tension. So China instead built one sea access from Myanmar. That's the reason millions of Rohingyas slaughtered. People don't know why so many years the people in Rohingya, even it was difficult, at least they used to live by. But why now? And so why for Uyghurs now? Because Chinese sea access by passing this place, Malacca Street, to have access to Indian Ocean through Kyabko port in Myanmar and Gwadar port in Pakistan. So you have to keep remember. And many people might think, well, it is good for economy in Middle East, Turkey, Central Asia. No, it is not. And most of the Chinese investment money, or so-called investment money, is loan. And China said, I'm building bridge, I'm building infrastructure, railroad, this and that. But 95% of workers are coming from China. China said, I'm putting $4 trillion. But it's not true. China may be putting $500 billion to $1 trillion. But that money will be recycled. Because China sends its own construction workers, its own team, its own material. And that money, China said, investment goes back to China again, and you will recycle that money again. So all of the Chinese company, 95% of the construction or projects done by Chinese companies with the 95% of Chinese workers. It didn't help local economy. It didn't help Pakistan. It didn't help Sri Lanka. That's the reason Malaysia said, no, I have to pull out from this project. The recent election last year in Malaysia, it was about BRI, Belt and Road Initiative. Malaysia said, no, I don't need Chinese cash. And now a number of countries in Africa said, no, because Sri Lanka now became a satellite state of China. Central Asian, Turkic republics became satellite state of China. Pakistan is about to become a satellite state of China. And Mohammed bin Salman, his name was forbidden in China, in Uyghurs, in East Turkestan. No one can name a child with Mohammed. It is forbidden by state policy. Mohammed bin Salman, instead of asking Chinese government why you are forbidden my name, he praised China. And Pakistan is praising China without knowing who is China. The Chinese cooperation or Chinese investment may be seen differently in outside world because China presented totally different picture outside world. What China says, common prosperity, connectivity, revitalizing Asian Silk Road, win-win, all beautiful slogans. But if you look at the Chinese media and official propaganda inside China, what China says, 2035 we are the boss of the world. This is the time for China to be a boss. This is Chinese dream we have to achieve. Two different propaganda flow. One is inside, just revitalizing or provoking the national sense of ordinary Chinese. And for outside, portraying a beautiful picture, solidarity, common prosperity, this and that. And if we pass this thing, okay, this is how the world will become in 2035 if this Belt and Road Initiative or BRI will achieved by China. This is East Turkestan. So China said, I need this land, but I don't need people. I have enough people. So now more than 1 million Uyghurs originally put in concentration camp in this area, now transferred to mainland China. We don't know. It is non-return direction. We don't know which prison they held, but they are transferred. Because last September, Chinese government stopped all train ticket sale and the other transportation ticket sale for everyone. And starting from last September, they transferred 20 to 50 years Uyghur male to mainland China. And in East Turkestan, they are continuing to build one concentration camps, according to German scholar Adrian Zen, about 1,200 concentration camps. Some of them hold 100,000 people, some of them 10,000, some of them hold 1,000 people. And everywhere, digital surveillance is everywhere, from one street to another, one neighborhood to another. Every Uyghurs, they have to install an app, software. Whether they have anything related to religion. You cannot say, I don't eat pork. You cannot refuse. You have to have it. If you are a butcher now in Urumqi or Kashgar, Uyghur butcher, Muslim butcher, in order to sell 1 kilogram lamb, you have to sell 2 kilogram pork. That is how Chinese government dictated them. And they put all the butchers just like a cage, like the fence. It is the Zulm, humanity never seen before. In fact, US Secretary of State Pompeo said on March 14th, just a week ago, what's happening for Uyghurs now, haven't seen on this planet Earth since 1930s, referring to Jewish Holocaust. When such atrocity, genocide, whatever you name it, is taking place in the Muslim world. And now among the Uyghurs, everyone is questioning, am I a right Muslim? If I'm a Muslim, how about other Muslims? If I'm a Muslim, how should I call other Muslims? That is the common question in our community. Because just naming your children a Muhammad, you end up in jail. Praying is impossible. We used to have 26,000 mosques built by Uyghurs till 2016. That's the official figures. Now, it will be my surprise if there are 20 mosques left. From 26,000 mosques to 20 mosques, all destroyed. Some of them converted to bars. Some of them converted to Communist Party propaganda centers. Kashgar Eidgah Mosque, built in 1491, more than 500 years ago. Now converted to museum. If you go to Kashgar now, you'll purchase a ticket just to see around. No azan. Azan has changed. Instead of Allahu Akbar, the government said, if you want to azan, pray, this is azan pray for you. Motherland is great, motherland is great. We love President Xi Jinping, we love President Xi Jinping. That is the azan. And still, Quran is, there's no possibility to have a Quran or any religious content at home. Even praying mat, it is impossible. In such a zulm, in such atrocity, is seen by the Muslim world and the Turkic world and whatever the world. Just, it is shocking. It is shocking. And Canada spoke up a number of times. United States taking this issue seriously. Even there is some action going on to introduce Uyghur Policy Act by the US Congress, and in Turkey and some other countries. Well, it is US conspiracy. They are using the Uyghur card in order to break the relationship between the Muslim world and China. That's what they say. And it is very common comment in Turkish newspapers. Now the United States is using the Uyghur card in order to destroy our relationship with China. So ignore. And China knows the Muslim world, so they cherry pick some of the countries and ask them to come and allow them to visit some of the modern concentration camps. People are singing songs and beautifully dressed up. But how about other 1,200 concentration camps? And probably because of the time, I'm not going to go too far, but I would like to remind you one thing. If we are determined to close these concentration camps, nearly 1,200 concentration camps now throughout East Turkestan, there are only 4 countries can do that. One is, if we go back to previous, one is Kazakhstan. Let me call you. The previous one. Okay, one is Kazakhstan, one is Kyrgyzstan, one is Pakistan, one is Turkey. The 4 countries can close, actually de-benefit. Because from East Turkestan, all those land corridors, extended hands, one, without Kazakhstan they cannot reach furthermore, without Kyrgyzstan they cannot go furthermore, without Pakistan they cannot reach the Gwadar port or Indian Ocean. And Turkey has a leverage over those countries, and if 4 of those countries come up together and tell the Chinese government, hey China, let's do this project, but this project shouldn't come at the expense of Uyghurs. And if you want this project, by putting millions of people in concentration camps and separating the families and the children, people did not forget the 1940s, and people won't forget death. And the Kazakh, Kyrgyz, and those people are ethnic brothers of Uyghurs, and Pakistan is a religious brother of Uyghurs, and how you can ensure the safety of those projects if you put those people in concentration camps and eliminate them. You cannot make sure the safety of those projects. So, in order to be successful of this project, release the Uyghurs. Let them share a certain amount of this benefit from this project, and let's do it. If you want to choose this way by eliminating all Uyghurs and connecting us, you can buy out the presidents. And how about people? If Turkey and the 3 countries, and stand up and tell China in this way, they will have more leverage over China. Secondly, they can stop it. United States and Europe, they can pressure China. But China is not listening. Because those projects doesn't reach Europe or US, it doesn't matter. And the China said, I need money from US market, Canadian market, European market, and I'm going to use that money to invest smaller and weaker country to make my colony, expand my colony. And so East Turkestan is a hub, and without Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Pakistan, this project doesn't go anywhere. It has to go all the way to Marathon. So, unfortunately, I sent a number of times letter to Turkish newspaper just outlining my views. No one even just come close to publish it. And I sent letter to Turkish ambassador, let's meet, let's talk, not listen. Actually, I'm giving them my opinion, may be useful to their own national interest. And Turkey, if they stand up, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Pakistan, Turkey, if the 4 countries stand up together, they have more leverage because China needs them to achieve this Belt and Road Initiative. It has to pass those countries of the East Turkestan, and if 4 countries come together and openly tell the Chinese government, you cannot have successful Belt and Road Initiative in the future unless you release those Uyghurs from the concentration camps. Because there we have a fanatic people, we have some people, and when this thing will come up in the future, people won't forget, and you cannot ensure the safety of those investments. So let's do it, but do it with proper ways. Instead of eliminating one nation, let's have our own share and benefit each other. Very simple way. They can end this. But Now money talks, and money talks big, and those countries, unfortunately, they are dead. And Turkey is almost begging China to give more loan. Just last a couple of months, Turkish Finance Minister Barat Albayrak went to China, and China agreed to give Turkey $3 billion loan. All Turkish newspapers, front page, it is big news. The $3 billion is not big money for Turkey, but it is a big news. And now Turkey needs some cash injection to turn over the economy, and that cash most likely to come China with the expensive responsibility. Pakistan is already up till here in debt to China. $60 billion, $62 billion, and plus they already lost the Gwadar port for 45 years. China is building military base over there. And after 5-6 years, you will see Pakistanis cannot get into those ports. It is Chinese port for 45 years. Who knows after 45 years? And Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, there's a military base established now by China. China is expanding the colony by debt trap. Giving them money by knowing that they are unable to pay. When they are unable to pay, asking them concession on their territory. That is how it is. And unfortunately, Muslim countries and the Turkic countries are volunteered to be colonized by China. It is shocking. It is kind of embarrassment as a Muslim, as a Turkic Muslim, to see them. If they do not wake up, this is the consequence they will face sooner or later. Thank you so much.